What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Finance in Focus. I'm Brady Hansman. Today we're talking about a story that could end up being one of the biggest technology shifts of the next decade. The Trump administration just announced a massive $2 billion push into quantum computing, and quantum stocks absolutely exploded afterward. Companies like IBM, Rigetti Computing, and D-Wave Quantum all surged as investors rushed into the sector. And now Wall Street is asking, is quantum computing the next artificial intelligence boom, or are we watching another tech bubble form in real time? Let's talk about it. First, let's simplify what quantum computing actually is. Traditional computers process information using bits. A bit is either a 0 or a 1. Quantum computers use something called qubits, and qubits can exist as both 0 and 1 at the same time. Now, without turning this into a college physics class, here's what matters. Quantum computers are designed to solve extremely complex problems dramatically faster than traditional computers. Things like artificial intelligence, drug discovery, financial modeling, military simulations, logistics, cybersecurity, encryption systems, and the last one is important. Because its quantum computing becomes powerful enough one day, it could potentially break many of today's encryption systems that banks, governments, and the internet rely on. That's why governments around the world are racing into this space. This isn't just about faster computers anymore. This is becoming a national security issue. Now, according to reports, the Trump administration is putting around $2 billion toward quantum computing initiatives through CHIPS and Science Act framework. And here's the part that got Wall Street excited. The government may actually take equity stakes in some of these companies. That means this isn't just grants or subsidies. The government could literally become an investor alongside shareholders. One of the biggest winners appears to be IBM. Reports say IBM could receive around $1 billion connected to a project involving America's first quantum foundry. Other names tied to the founding discussion include Rigetti Computing, D-Wave Quantum, Inflection, Global Foundries, and the second this news hit, investors piled into anything related to quantum computing. Now, here's why investors are getting so excited. For years, quantum computing has been viewed as interesting but too early. Most people assumed the technology was still decades away from becoming commercially useful. But this announcement changes perception. Because when the US government starts pouring billions into industries, investors immediately start asking, what do they know that we don't? And honestly, we've seen this movie before. Artificial intelligence looked like hype for years. Then suddenly, governments and mega cap tech companies started investing heavily. And now AI is everywhere. Investors are wondering if quantum computing could follow a similar path, especially with China aggressively investing in the space too. This is turning into a technology arms race. But now let's talk about the risk, because this is where people can get burned badly if they aren't careful. Quantum computing absolutely has massive long-term potential, but potential and profits are not the same thing. A lot of these companies are still highly speculative. Many are not constantly profitable. Some barely generate meaningful revenue compared to their valuations. And the technology itself still faces huge challenges involving stability, scaling, and error correction. In other words, this industry is still early, very early. And Wall Street has a long history of pricing in future dreams way before reality actually arrives. We saw it with the dot-com stocks, EV stocks, SPACs, cannabis stocks, the metaverse, and now potentially quantum computing. Some of these stocks are moving 20 to 50% in days. That's not normal long-term investing behavior. That's speculative momentum. Now, personally, the biggest story to me isn't necessarily the short-term stock moves. It's what this says about where the global economy is heading. The United States is making it very clear that quantum computing is strategically important. And when government money, national security, artificial intelligence, and private capital all start flowing into the same industry, you pay attention. Because this could become one of the defining technological races of the next decade. But history also tells us something important. In revolutionary industries, many early companies disappear before the true winners emerge. The internet changed the world, but most early internet stocks still failed. That's the part investors always forget during hype cycles. So here's the bottom line. Quantum computing is real. The investment race is real. And the US government just fired a major shot into the industry with this announcement. But investors still need to separate excitement from execution. Because right now, many of these stocks are trading more on future expectations than current fundamentals. That doesn't mean the opportunity is fake, it just means volatility is probably going to be extreme. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe and turn on notifications, and stay tuned for our next Finance in Focus episode. Thanks for watching.